The squad is not good enough.
I've almost running out of things to say. I genuinely don't know what to think about Manchester United anymore. That cannot happen when you're Manchester United, when you're playing in front of those fans. It's just that there's so many different factors. I get the off-field, I get the owners aren't right, I get all of that. But when it comes down to it, when you spend that much money, that team should have enough to go out there and produce a performance and get a win against the Bournemouth side. It's a complete mess, that club.
Most of us know United as one of the best clubs in the English Premier League, and for a club with big history and major trophies, it's concerning what they're going through in the past years. Although it's normal for clubs to have bad seasons, but what the statistics say about Erik Ten Hags is quite ridiculous. It's never a good thing for Manchester United manager to be compared to David Moyes, the worst manager in the history of United. But Erik Ten Hag is now posting more alarming statistics than the man generally regarded as the worst manager. United's 2-1 defeat at Nottingham Forest on Saturday was United's 14th loss in all competitions already this season. Followed the same rinse and repeat pattern of many of their collapses: concede first, equalize, and then throw the game away with amateurish defending, adding some bad individual performances and confused tactics, and you have the story of Ten Hag's season so far. It was chaotic as usual, but chaos doesn't lend itself to a success too often. Rather, it generally leads to failure, and Ten Hag's second season is beginning to resemble Moyes' only campaign as United manager, when he was fired just 10 months after replacing Ferguson in May 2013. It was a similar story with Moyes before his sacking. Back then, the camera shot would be of a frustrated Ferguson before cutting directly to the struggling manager, looking more and more haunted with every defeat. One can only imagine what Ferguson was whispering into Brailsford's ear during this defeat at Forest. Although it is a safe bet to assume that he wouldn't be over-complimentary about the performance of Antony, United's 85 million winger who has not registered a goal or assist all season. The Brazil international was substituted on 54th minute to chants of "what a waste of money" from the Forest supporters. But the former Ajax winger's lack of impact in a United shirt is becoming a major problem for Ten Hag, simply because the former Ajax manager pushed the club to sign him 18 months ago. "He's so frustrating," former United captain Gary Neville told Sky Sports. "I blame the football club, it's not the boy's fault, he was bought for that money. There has to be a no when it gets to that level. If I was looking at him at 25 million, we would be looking differently." Pursuing Antony was a misjudgment on Ten Hag's part, but he repeats it every time he selects him in his starting lineup. The player is simply not good enough for a club aiming to contend at the top of the Premier League. There are some circumstances that Ten Hag is dealing with. Of course, United's injury list has been lengthy all season, but all managers must overcome injury and illness problems. They are a fact of life in elite sports, and those that Ten Hag is expected to compete with are doing a better job of it right now. When asked to pinpoint United's biggest problem, Ten Hag was direct: the injuries, he said. Also some issues, but mainly the injuries hold us back in the process. In January, we have a lot of players returning, so then our levels can be higher. Under Ten Hag, Man United now have lost 14 games this season, with another 18 games left to play. Moyes only lost 16 games in one full season at United. Meanwhile, United's 21 defeats suffered in 2023 in all competitions is the club's worst since 1972 and the fourth worst tally in their history. This team has also lost the same amount of games, 9, as it suffered in the Premier League throughout the whole of last season. Nottingham Forest, for their part, beat Manchester United for the first time since 1994. So the crisis returned. Next up is an FA Cup third round tie at Wigan Athletic, who sit 18th in the EFL League One. Ten Hag simply cannot lose this one. Do you think Erik Ten Hag is the worst manager in modern football? Leave your opinion in the comment section down below.